Wuan James not happy about what happened to him on Friday. The Denver Broncos releasing him. They will not be paying his salary that was guaranteed for skill, injury, and cap, specifically injury happening on the job. He's released because of a non-football injury. He doesn't get paid. And Wuan James says, at NFLPA, if you're going to advise all of us, we need you to have our backs on the other end of this. And he's a prime example of the guy who did what the union recommended that he do. He was working out at the facility. Union says don't, so he went on his own. There was a workout program given to him by the team. The team was very careful to say these are voluntary options, and we are not responsible for any injury that you suffer away from the workplace. There's going to be a grievance because you're talking about $10 million. You may as well give it a try. Maybe you get lucky. I just can't imagine James being successful, Chris, against the team when it's as plain as day. You get injured at work, you're covered. You get injured away from work, you're not covered. And if you're going to be doing the workout the team gave you, why not just show up at the team facility and do it there?
I know. Well, I mean, I think, at base level, he brings up a good point. I mean, again, if the organization that you're a part of, the union that you're a part of, is advising you to do something that can financially hurt your life and ruin you for an injury, you would think there is insurance for something like that. I mean, that would be, to me, again, not that I'm sitting here and I'm Johnny Lawyer or anything like that, but that just seems common sense. When you read the tweet and everything like that, I was just like, yeah. I mean, duh. I wish I would have thought about that last week and said that. But, yeah, that makes sense. And that's where I feel for Wuan James, and that's where I tell all players, get back to the facility and do your workouts there.
And people around the league are interpreting his tweet as an indication that among his various options, he will explore pursuing some type of action against the union. Now, generally speaking, it's very hard to hold a union responsible for breaching what they call the duty of fair representation. It's an extremely high bar. But, in this case, and I don't know how it plays out. All I know is the guy's out $10 million. And if he can prove that he listened to the NFLPA and they didn't advise him of the potential risks that he was incurring by working out on his own, that's a potential problem. But he also has an agent. That's the thing. The agents, that's why the agents are telling these guys show up. That's one of the reasons why. And of all the guys in the NFL who should have been told, you should be at the team facility when you're working out. He got $17 million for 3 games in 2019. He opted out last year. Not that should be held against any player, but we got to be realistic.
Yeah.
You're coming back after sitting out all of last year. You got to prove yourself. You got to establish yourself. You're going to be working out anyway. Work out in the team facility and get the protection that goes along with it. Your surgery's covered. Your rehab's covered. And you get your $10 million. By cutting him on Friday, he's on his own for his rehab, Chris.
Yeah.
He is completely on his own.
No, I mean, Mike, your point about, first off, if there's been any player that should have been there, it's players that are in his boat. Exactly right. Oh, we gave you a ton of money, and you've played 3 games, and then the other year you decided not to play? Like, I don't care. It's a business. You say what you want. Yeah, no business is going to be like, oh, great, you've taken $17 million from us and done nothing? Oh, yeah, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and keep you around for a while, even though you're hurt now, and you're going to steal another $10 million from us, right? I mean, come on. What do you expect the team to do at this point? To me, Mike, the big thing is for that I'd like to ask you, does he have any real, merit here as far as if he was to bring this to the NFLPA and be like, listen, you didn't warn me of this. I wasn't aware of this circumstance here. And would he be able to then, sue the NFLPA or get money out of them for this whole situation?
That's a nuance I've never had the occasion to research. That is a fancy way of saying I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that's how you find out. That's how you get an idea. You research how other similar cases out there, cases with similar facts, how those have been handled. But the argument would be, if you're the lawyer representing Wuan James, the union recommended that you not be present for these workouts. The union didn't tell Wuan James, oh, by the way, if you work out on your own and you get injured, here's all the things you're going to lose. They didn't tell him that when he made his decision. And I'm telling you, if it comes to that, the union is going to pin it on the agent, saying this is where the agent needed to intervene and be aware of his situation.
And be aware of the union
and advise him.
Yeah.
And advise him on what he had to do. So I think the agent is in a more delicate spot here than the union if the agent didn't say to Wuan James, hey, Wuan, before you go down to Planet Fitness with your sheet of paper from the strength coach with all the different exercises you're supposed to do or that they recommend that you do or that the voluntary options, whatever language the Broncos use so they're not on the hook, before you do that, you got some reasons, like maybe 10 million of them plus, to just go to the facility and tell the NFLPA, thanks but no thanks on this one. I got to take care of myself and my family.
It's interesting. To me, I didn't really, but you're right. I mean, it kind of does fall back on the agent. I mean, the agent certifies, right? They're certified through the union to work that way. So, yeah, I would think that maybe you're right. Sorry, excuse me. I'm hiccuping here and burping at the same time. My coffee. Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
But, yeah, that's an interesting angle that you're right. I think is a little more on the agent than I maybe thought of earlier.
And I think that's where whoever's advising Wuan James needs to tread lightly. And I think that what he needs at this point is somebody completely disconnected from anyone who's had any involvement with him whatsoever. You need a completely objective, neutral voice who can identify the various responsibilities and advise you on what to do. Because the agent may say, you know what, it's an uphill climb against the union. Let's not go down that path, recognizing that if he does, the union is going to turn back around and say, it's on the agent. And, oh, by the way, we have the power to discipline the agent if we want to do so. Maybe we choose to discipline the agent for not telling Wuan James that it was in his best interest to not listen to us, to ignore our recommendation, that he's one of the ones that should be present and working out. So I really do think for his own best interest and to the extent that there is someone out there who has responsibility for this guy being out $10 million, he needs to find somebody completely disconnected, completely neutral, completely objective who can advise him on his rights. And that's the advice I'd give to anyone in this situation. Get someone who can tell you where you need to go for the compensation that you deserve. I sound like a 1-800 call the lawyers, but that's true. You know, nobody likes lawyers until they need one. He needs a good one to help him navigate his way through this because it sounds like someone may be responsible for that $10 million.
Yeah, I know. I am going to be kind of just interested to see where he takes this from here on out. I am. And just to continue to kind of gauge the NFLPA and their stance on this as we go forward and everything like that. But, crazy situation. I feel for Wuan James as we have talked about. But, man, it's one where I think they're ill-advised. I do. And we'll see where it goes from here.
By the way, the union says 38% of players have shown up so far for off-season workouts. Now, I'm trying to get more information as to whether that includes all the rookies who have been there because it's been virtually all rookies. But Phase 2 starts today. It's on-field coaching. It's not OTAs, but it's not just working out. We'll see how many guys show up for that, and then the OTAs start next week. So, look, the Wuan James situation is the warning shot for the other players. At a minimum, talk to your agents, look at your contract, and understand the risks you're taking if you continue to work out away from the facility.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.